Alive, so you need to behave. Good evening, folks. Thanks for coming in. You're all very welcome. First off, as we say, I know Patty was meant to be on tonight, but her brother got rushed into hospital last night, and we just want to express our best wishes that it makes a speedy recovery, and hope that Patty's okay as well. She will be coming in to see us at some point, but obviously, family comes first, and we hope he gets better soon and he's back out again. So tonight I'm joined by these two, as you can see.
You get introduced now.
Laura and Sarah, and we are joined by Rigga and I was going to say David from Scottish Paranormal Investigations Group, otherwise AKA Spig.
You only know that because Rigga's got it wrote down there.
That's where he comes on, because I can read the name of his group. But hi, Lindsay Doll. I can read the name of his group, although I try to remember it. Because some groups have dead long names, especially Andy Murphy.
What's
and I hope he
Murphy's
watches
called?
this.
Ghostbusters Paranormal United or something.
He's got about 10 words in his group's name, and he keeps adding stuff on. Right? To get, grind my gears.
Is that Ghostbusters
It's
Paranormal
UK Ghostbusters Paranormal UK/USA, something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like that length. Major. Anyway, however, tonight what we're talking about to start off with, and then we'll probably start talking crap after it, but however, it's do spirits remember us? And what I mean by this is, if you investigate a certain location enough times, every time you go back, do you think that spirits remember you, that they recognise you, and they're more willing to come forward and try and make contact with you, and you get more and more evidence, information, whatever you want to call it, every time you go? And does it help kind of build up a picture of maybe one particular spirit's life, who they were, what they did, etc.? Speaking from experience, we done a location last year. Over 2 months, we carried out 8 investigations at this one location, and every time we went, we seemed to get more evidence by the same spirits. Occasionally, we get somebody new, but 90% of the time, it was by the same spirits kept coming through all the time, the same names kept coming through. And it wasn't just through the app. Quite a few members of the team, myself included, heard them as in real time. They were beside us, talking to us basically. We did do a live this year with Andy Murphy. He broke down one of the recordings that we'd made. What?
You just said that full sentence without stopping there.
I was breathing from my backside.
As I just said to Laura.
Yeah. You put me off, I was saying that. So we sent to Andy Murphy. Well, we sent all the evidence we got to various sources. I think we've got 11 different people we sent it to, and just says, I'm going to have a listen to this. And they all came back with the same results, same things as we came up with. But one particular recording we sent to Andy Murphy, and he broke it down, and he sent me 22 individual files of what we'd actually picked up that we weren't aware of at the time. We never heard any of it. So we did a live with him, and the outcome of the live, what we gathered was where we were in this particular location, there was maybe 4 or 5 individual spirits gathered together, and they were watching us. And because one of the spirits was a woman, and she says quite clearly, they can see you. Another thing we captured was she was telling people to be quiet, to shh, and this was all quite clear on the EVPs after Andy done his, what do you call it? Tinkering, cleaned it up. Everybody knows I'm no tech savvy. I'm as thick as a steak bake when it comes to tech. But once he'd done his stuff on it, it turned out there was 4 or 5 various spirits all standing there around us, kind of watching us, sort of thing. And so we came to the conclusion that they must have remembered us, because they seemed quite willing to come forward with K2 responses, cat balls, stuff like that, various noises. Sarah's thinking about with this computer. and it's putting me right off what I'm saying.
I'm seeing if I've still got the clips.
Right, let's go put Charlie's comment up. Hi, Charlie, buddy. I strongly believe that spirits with intelligence do recognise us the more we go back to location, as I've witnessed this over many years of investigations at the same locations. Exactly, buddy. See, we did that last year, and we get more and more every time we went. And I think it's kind of like building take 2 or 3 investigations to start building that wee bit of trust. And sorry, can't be on. Just came back from football with some. That's all right, buddy. That's fine. What do you guys think? Since I'm doing most of the talking, good breathing.
Oh, definitely. It does, definitely. You do kind of build a trust as well. They get used to you.
Well, there's you know yourself, David, there's a certain location that we go to. You're more, obviously, if that's the case, the spirits will understand you more because you're there a lot more than Amor. But I've been a good few times, and without fail, there's either my name or David's name that comes through the EVP, all in echo without fail. And this male spirit, we completely believe that he understands why we are there, who we are, and he's getting to know me because I've been a good few times as well. He'll know David, but he's kind of getting to know me more as well. Like we've had some EVPs where we've had Brigga and David get to F, so he understands why we're there. But we always chat about that as well. Like, even with equipment, they start understanding equipment. But even at the farm as well, there's a certain spirit there. And we strongly believe as well that spirit totally understands us. Like we've kind of built that bond with a spirit because we're guaranteed activity. And I know you're not never really guaranteed, but this is a location I can honestly see you could go and get activity.
Oh, you always get some.
Full stop. But when we first went, you sit and think, like my mind goes on a mile an hour. When we went to the farm, for talking's sake, when we went, maybe this male spirit, obviously it's the first time he's seen us, so he might not want to come out the shell as much, but as we've been returning, he's like, I recognise him. And a lot of the locations we go to as well, that we return to, we always usually get Spig, and it's usually quite clear. Spig comes through. Because when you're having a general chat, you'll maybe mention like the team name or name each other, and we usually just say Spig for short, obviously. But there's been a few locations where we've had like a strong intelligent Spig that's came through now. What's the chances of having in team as well?
Yeah.
But I do believe that spirits they start building that trust. But you've got to build that. You've got to work for it as well. You can't just go into a location and go, right, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. I'm going to return next week. You know what I mean? If you don't do it, I'm not going to return again. So you've got to kind of build that trust. It's like the one as well. You know, it's build that relationship.
Right, so somebody off Facebook users thought I wanted to have a female friend in the UK that would do repeat investigations on a certain location. This young female spirit would always call her mum. Of course, with this female spirit developed a bond with this, this lady. And started calling her mum. Because you say, it's the same in real life, physical life, to build trust with somebody. And to me, spirits know any different.
The only way I would see it is maybe if a group of people go, or just yourself go to a location and the spirit might not take to you, as the same as a living, it might not take to you, then you might not kind of get to build that trust and start to kind of gather more evidence and start to kind of uncover a story because they're not wanting to communicate with you. But if you come across a spirit or they're coming across you and they're like, oh, this person's actually quite alright, and I feel comfortable around this person and things like that, I just want to have a wee chat. But again, you don't know how hard it is for them to have a chat. So building that bond with them and knowing that they're there and letting them know why you're there, it might ease them and then they might it might help them to communicate more. So then you return again, they're like, oh, he's returned, you've kind of been looking forward to it. And then it might just push the boat out a wee bit. And then
I'll give you an instance, Rigger. I did a recording about a couple of weeks ago in a certain place, and the answer I got coming through the recorder was, "Oh, you're in."
Mhm.
So whoever it was recognised me right away
Mhm.
to say that. You know what I mean? You're in.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
One thing that kind of swung it for me last year at that location we went to was there was another team came along one day. We were curious to see if they would get the same results because it sounds big headed, but every time we went, we were just overwhelmed with what we got, and we were lucky enough to catch about 95% on camera. There was the odd bits and pieces that we never caught, as in one investigation, but we were really lucky in the aspect that we got on camera. But so we took this team along, and you guys know where I'm talking about.
yeah,
What we did was we said to them, "Will you go in the stairwell and we'll go down in the basement? We'll do an hour, and then we'll swap round." So this is what we did. I can't remember if we go in the basement.
We got loads. We got loads.
We
That was the
quite a
night
bit.
with the ball.
was that the one, Scott? The link you sent me, the YouTube link.
Aye.
That was actually pretty good. That.
Aye, that was a different investigation. That was the same place, just a
Yeah.
different investigation. I can't remember
When
the
we were in the basement, then we had the ball with us.
Aye,
and we
that's
were
right.
rolling it, and then it came through ball, and then it came through play, and then we said, "Can you catch the ball?" And it came through can't.
hmm
And it wasn't
Aye.
until later on we discovered that the reason why.
Aye, that's right. But so we did an hour downstairs. They were in the stairwell. So after an hour, I went up the stairs and says, right, that's an hour up. How do you go on? I wasn't wanting any details. I was just wanting a simple, it was fine. And they says, we get nothing. We get absolutely nothing.
No,
What's
the
that?
bear went off,
Oh, sorry, the bear went off once.
but they weren't sure if if an insect had crawled on it or something.
It shows you a good man memory, doesn't it? Says, well, what we'll do is we'll swap room and you go down in the basement and we'll come up here. And it seemed as soon as we started investigating on the stairwell, we get loads of activity again.
Okay. That's probably because they recognise you, Mayor.
Aye, exactly. So that's what led me to start thinking, well, maybe it's because they know us.
Yeah.
It might sound stupid to some people, but maybe it's because they recognise us because we've been here a few times before.
Definitely. It's a wee bit like one and where we're going on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
This bit's actually will come forward to me a lot up the stairs, Rigger, in the meeting.
Yep.
She normally it's a female and she normally comes forward, no problem.
Aye. And you've had some really intelligent stuff. One of the
Aye.
clearest EVPs I've ever heard was Fair Out of Spirit.
Yeah, saying her name.
Yep. And it was so clear. It was like she was right there. It was crystal clear. And I think it was only myself and you, David, there at that time.
I think it was. Aye, I think so. It was just me and you.
But do you think, on the same hand as well, like, so say a spirit kind of takes to you, or takes to two people, and so like there's 5 in the team. So if we go to a location, a spirit says takes to me and David, when we're ourselves, but if the 5 hours go, there might be somebody in the team that they don't take to, so they might not want to communicate as much because they're like, I don't like them. I'm not wanting to prove that I'm here because I don't even like them. So that could be a factor as well.
But they usually, sorry Scott, they usually recognise new people. Well, that's never been. Sometimes they can point that out.
Well, funnily enough, but just as you say that, David, the location that we're going to on Saturday, we took
right.
faces and females, and we're through one of the EVPs that said
Two new.
Two new. through EVP, clear as day. Who knew? So the Spirit's aware that there's new people there, which
Yeah.
could run into. They already know that we're there because they never said we were new. They just said two new, talking about two new faces. So
And
obviously
that's-
they know that me and David are there because we've been
Yeah.
a good few times. So it is a possible. I strongly believe that Spirits they start recognising you and the equipment and start understanding. Oh, I know what this wee black box is. They keep talking about they've returned now for 10 times. I know what this is. It's so easy. Touch it. This ball's so easy to light up. That silver box is so easy to speak into because I understand it now. I believe it today, and I believe that they start understanding equipment and all that sort of stuff. But I think sometimes going to a location and taking too much equipment could
Confused them.
Overwhelmed.
you know what I mean? There's too much
Yeah.
stuff going on.
Yeah. Confuses them.
But again, we're taking too much equipment as well. You might not get that full communication with the Spirit or that full bond because
Yeah.
you're basically saying to them, touch a black box, touch a ball, let us know you're there, yes and no, this and that. If you just go with an EVP, say, and a video camera and just work on that, the EVP, speak to them, just investigation is just speaking, asking questions and wait for answers, and then it might help build that trust. So when you go the second time, it's building again, and you can maybe start getting equipment.
Mhm.
Now, how do you think they recognise us? Like, do they see it's interesting? I'm just thinking here. Do they recognise us as in a human form? Do they recognise our voices, or do they recognise the so-called energy?
Well, there's been times I've asked questions, because you know yourself, I think I'm mad stuff, but there's times I've asked questions where I've asked like what colour of top am I wearing, or what colour's my watch at that time, or what colour's my gloves in the winter and stuff like that. And I've had some responses and it's been bang on. I remember going to a location before I started Spig, and it was kind of urban, or kind of doing a wee explore. I wasn't investigating and stuff like that, but I took along my SB7, and I thought, I'm going to ask some questions here, because it's supposed to be haunted. There was a couple of us, and I was wearing yellow gloves with green fingertips, and I asked, can you see what colour of gloves I'm wearing? And yellow and green came through. Yellow and green.
There you go.
And what is it? Yellow and green. I'm wearing yellow and green gloves, and it came
We
through.
did that when we went to see the first place I went with you. One of the times we went back there and we asked them about the colours, about the green and the red, and it came through. They said, they said red and green.
Mhm.
So,
But as well, as you were saying, Laura, do you think they can see? I think some spirits can, because there has been a couple of times through the EVP we've had. Is it all right to swear on this?
Aye, that's the main.
Just so I can say, we've had a couple of times it's came through, and it's at this location. We're going on Saturday, and it says "fat bastard." So I reckon that they can see, because obviously they must be talking to me.
I've heard that a few times, haven't I? At Greyfriars.
I was going to come out and say,
And it's like a Scottish fat bastard.
that's the other thing. My love here. I was talking to somebody the other day about, the necrophonic. Who was it? I was talking to?
I don't know, you talked about many folk.
I was talking to the other day, and we're talking about apps and stuff. And one was the accents. Now, we've been with you guys, we've heard it.
It was Barry John.
Who?
It was that young guy in the library.
Barry John, that's who it was. Sorry, Barry, if you're watching this. I forgot it was you I was talking to. I think it's age, isn't it? And I was saying, I'm not a big tech fan again, but it's my understanding, and I know you guys will keep me right, that all these apps, they're all loaded with just a basic word bank. There's no language, accents or anything in them. It's just plain kind of English. And you all know that, we've been out with you guys, and we've been out quite a few times ourselves, and we've had the Scottish accent come through.
Mm-hmm.
No, just Scottish, that.
Irish.
But you said
Irish.
there was
What?
Irish men that came through my daughter.
That's right, with an Irish accent as well.
What I know, I know a lot of people are against apps and stuff like that because a lot of it is for entertainment purposes and whatnot. I get that, but I don't know if it was on the Paranormal Hangover we were chatting about it. I can't remember if it was with you, Scott, but there's been a lot of active locations we've went to, and you're guaranteed to get names coming through, and some of them are in Scottish, some of them are different accents, but it's like a name here. But there's definitely like broad Scottish ones come through, and you can see that is a name. That's a name. But at the location we went to last Saturday, there was only really one name that came through, and it was Scott. Now, if it was for entertainment purposes, we would still get names, and we were there for a good few hours. And the only really name that did come through quite clear was Scott. And again, if it was for entertainment purposes, we would have still got names coming through, but we never ever did.
My name seemed to come through quite a bit last year when we were out investigating.
I think your name seems to come out every time we're investigating.
See, sorry for one. Just before I forget. Again, I know folk are obviously with the necro and this and that and whatnot. I get that. I truly believe it does work. The simple fact is, we were at a location, the farm location, and we get the name Edward that came through. We then ran the EVP, and Edward came through. We then ran the spirit box, and Edward came through. So that's 3 pieces of equipment that Edward came through. And through the necro, it was Scottish. Through the EVP, it was Scottish. And through the spirit box, it was Scottish. And it wasn't the case of, we get the name Edward through the necro, and then an hour later, it was like, right, we've got Edward, right, we'll cut that. EVP, can you tell me your name? Edward, and then David ran his spirit box. Basically, after that, Edward came through. So within the space of 10, 15 minutes, we get Edward that came through the devices, 3 devices.
Yeah, how do you debunk that? I mean, we're quite strong believers here as yourselves and try to debunk as much as possible, but as well, I mean, if somebody can sit down and explain to me how you can get a Scottish accent through the necrophonic app, I'll listen to them. You know, fair enough. Sometimes I've heard coming through an echo. Again, excuse the language here. Understand if you don't want me back on. It's just so I just want to kind of replay what it sounded like it came through. And I remember we were on an echo one time, and we were kind of getting no aggressive with the spirits, but just slightly try to provoke them, try to kind of get them out their shell a bit, wind them up a wee bit, and we go, get to fuck. You know, get to fuck. And it was the same voice through. It wasn't like get up and down or whatever. It was the same voice, get to fuck. It was a constant voice. It was the this lady here's been insulted quite a few times.
At Greyfriars, I get told to get out. I was a fat bitch.
Two-faced.
Loudon, I get called a two-faced bitch. What else?
I should say as a two-faced bitch. That's what came through at Loudon.
They're not see you next Tuesday, I know.
Aye,
See you
nothing
next Tuesday, she called as well.
Sorry.
Bad. I don't know, for some reason, they were quite clear. I don't think they're programmed into the necrophone.
No.
So Greyfriars, that wee bit, I get it came through. Ha, you won't fit. Mind.
Ha, you won't fit.
Called me a fat bitch and then said, ha, you won't fit.
There's loads of now well-known paranormal teams that use the necrophonic as well as other apps.
This cat saying, in case I work, it calls out my name often. Sometimes you get to me, sometimes they call me names. Cat World's on Sunday, Paranormal Exposures. Check them out. They do a lot at the Edinburgh Mansion. Which I think it's quite a good name, Edinburgh Mansion. You could call it Glasgow Mansion, should have.
Mansion.
Yeah.
It's not in Edinburgh though, it's in America.
That's not in Edinburgh. Just says in the ad, they don't commute back and forward. You know, for Iowa. The place where they live. It's Iowa or Idaho. It's in America anyway. They don't commute back and forward. But see, they do a lot there, and as Kat says, sometimes they greet them, sometimes they call into consultant basically. I can see where Kat's coming from because she's what's there constantly. Spirits will get used to her. You see, oh, there she's in. That's her turned up again. By the way, you better seeking out. But Sarah says she could tell she wouldn't fit. No, in an echophonic. I'm not an expert, but I really don't think that's programmed into an echophonic.
No, no, not.
No, it's definitely no. And I remember you used to be able to record. So you used to be able to record your session on the necrophonic, but it done away with it. But it was definitely handy because while you were running it, you could just record it, and then when you get home, you could just listen to it.
Yeah.
That's how I like the live as well, running the necro kind of close to the phone, because people in the live can hear it, and they might pick up my name. But sometimes, and what's good as well is I like when everybody reacts to the same thing that's come out the necro, when it's so clear, and everybody's like, because sometimes you're like, sometimes I'll hear things but I'll not say it, and I'll wait, I'll have a look about to see if anybody reacted to it, and then I'll say, did you hear that? Instead of going, oh, did you hear that? And then somebody goes, aye, I did. Because I imagine if you're listening a lot, you're automatically going to think you're hearing things when you're not really. You're like you're asking for a number or how many people's in the room, you're going to, if there's 6 in the room, something could come out, it sounds like 6, but it's no 6. Things like that, but we've had 100% intelligent responses through the necrophonic app. You've seen it yourself. We've done it with the Spirit's Eye. That's another thing.
Yeah,
the number, the shape. We've done it with that as well.
We usually have witnessed it ourselves. I mean, when you try a spirit gets to know you, gets to recognise, gets to remember you. Do you think they can pick and choose who they talk to, and for some reason, other people beside you don't hear it?
All right.
They can just talk.
if you're tuned into it.
Well, that's. I feel as if it's all about me this show, right? But just as I remember, I'm getting carried away now. There was a time, again, location we're going to on Saturday, but it was the very first time we'd went as a team. And I remember we were running the EVP in a certain room, and I was like, did any of you hear that? And they're like, no. But when we listened back to the EVP, it was a woman. A woman's voice came through the EVP. But I heard it. But they heard it.
Aye.
That's like what happened to you then.
Aye. We see that. You need to imagine because it happened to us twice last year. That other team upstairs we took to the location before we started the investigation. I says, right, I'll give you a wee tour, because you know yourselves, the building's not 100% safe. So I'll show you, the kind of bits to avoid. So I took them into the basement, and there was me and there was 4 members of this other team that were there, and I heard a woman's clear as day voice saying, why? Just like that, why? And I turned and looked to the other 4, and they were just standing there. And I said, did you not hear that? I said, no. Yeah. I said, you've never heard that, a woman asking why? This is not, you never heard a single thing. And then when we did the investigation on the stairwell, I'll let Sarah tell you about it, because I see what they are talking about.
Me, Laura, Gail, Reese, and a couple of other folk were all reacting the same time as Scott, but Scott was reacting to a woman's voice saying, is your light better? And the rest of us were reacting to somebody taking deep intakes of breath.
That makes sense. So we were in the same place, and everybody else was hearing one thing, and I heard something totally different, but it was at the exact same time.
Yeah.
It's actually been going on a TikTok.
I think it's on one of the clips.
I think it's on one of the clips for
it's either episode 1 or episode 2.
And so I just assumed that they'd all heard the voice. Because we were all at the exact same second. They says, no, we never heard that voice. You never heard any sharp intakes of breath. So do you think Spirit can pick and choose who actually hears them and who doesn't?
It's possible. It could come down to who they feel comfortable with. If you're going to basically, if you're going to go into a location, we always respect any location. It doesn't matter if it's abandoning, or whatever, any location, we always respect it, and the spirits. But I think if you go in there, even though you're going to be the utmost respect and stuff like that, there might just be somebody that's out that bunch that they just might take to.
Mhm.
You know, it's like you might remind them of a family member, or if it's a wee kid, you know, you might might look like somewhat like their father or their mother or something, and they might just kind of get that comfort with you and kind of not clingy, but just feel more safe and just want to communicate with you. They feel protected. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I think it is a possibility. On the same hand as well, you could go in 5 in a team, and there might just be somebody out there that the spirit's like, I don't like you, and that
Yeah.
could stop them from communicating.
That's that.
Good man, but I'm not going to. He's asking me to touch this and do this. I'm not doing it because I don't like this person. So no.
I'll give you an instance, right? Years ago, I did Menzies Castle, right? And there was me, my daughter, my wife. There was a few years, but on the stairwells, you've got these birthing rooms. And my daughter and wife are in there with the K2, and they were all gone mental. See, the minute I walked into the birthing room, total dead, nothing. Every time. And then every time I left it started again. I don't know whether, but it's just because men weren't allowed in the birthing rooms years ago. So,
That actually reminds me of that the day we went to the location that we're talking about, basically. And we were sitting in the stairwell and we were investigating, and we were getting loads and loads through. But the minute Scott appeared,
yeah,
like, they just
aye.
shut completely down. And the minute Scott left, we told him to go away. It started up again. It was just like they wanted to speak to us, nobody else.
Yeah. But you do find that sometimes some locations they take male to female.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that, like, at that location, the kind of adult spirits, as you would call them, but kind of speaking to you a lot, whereas me and Laura were communicating more with the younger.
You seem to attract the kids.
Yeah. I don't know if that's maybe because we're mothers.
Possibility, right?
I mean,
That clip I sent to both of you, that was done. We actually done that just as a kind of tester to see, because our first investigation there had been at night time, and so you know, always wondered, you know, would it be same during the day? Let's go during the day. So that's what we did.
What was it not
Yeah.
the episode over?
No, it was just the one that's on the YouTube channel.
Oh, I thought it was the episode 1 or whatever.
No, it was just the YouTube one.
You're on YouTube.
Because we were wanting to compare, because a lot of folks say, you know, you're better off investigating at night, and some folks, it doesn't make any difference. We don't think it makes any difference. Granted, at night time, you know, there's a bit more atmosphere. And in some locations, like say Loudon, Lennox Castle, places like that, as soon as it gets dark, I don't know if it's up here or no, but as soon as it gets dark, the atmosphere does change quite a lot.
Same everywhere, I think, Scott.
You know, so
See when you were talking about obviously spirits getting used to like, it could be a thing as well. Like, so if you go to your very first time you've been to this location, you go with an EVP saying you're just trying to build that bond and trust and whatnot. You start getting some intelligent responses, and then the next time you maybe bring your EVP and a REM pod, you're getting it. It's the same spirit of communicating with, it's coming through the EVP. You're explaining what the REM pod is. The start's going. Then before you leave, you say, "Look, I'm going to come back again in a week's time. Next time, I'm going to bring a wee ball, and you just touch it and it lights up." And then that kind of gives them maybe something to look forward to when you're coming back as well. Oh, I'm interested to see what this ball is. Oh, they're back. There's this ball, and you put it down.
Yeah.
And then go for there. And then the next time, I'm going to bring this. I'm going to bring a light up teddy or a doll or whatever. Same sort of thing. They're looking forward to it. So it might bring them all that trust a bit more because you're telling them what you're bringing next time.
Yeah.
I think the key is, and I like everybody's opinion on this, I think the key to investigate is building a trust.
consistent.
You know, well, I mean, aye, exactly. You know, going. I mean, a lot of people. I don't know. There's arguments for and against it. I've heard quite a bit. You know, some people say we like to try different locations. Fair enough. So do we. You know, everybody does somewhere new. Some people say, but you get fed up going back to the same place over and over and over again, which some people probably do. But then the other side of that coin is the more you get back, the more spirit recognise you, the more likely you're going to get and build responses and build, build a bond. And and I think a big part of investigating is putting a puzzle together.
Yeah.
You know, you get all these.
You get to understand the spirits as well, like the location with the farm. When we first went, that's when we get the name Edward that came through the 3 devices and whatnot. And we thought he was kind of playing tough, so we did start provoking him, getting him out of his shell. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. We had umpteen bits of equipment down in the room we were in, on the stairs above us. Every single bit of equipment went at the same time. David's REM pod get drained on the stairs. Second time we went, right, we're going to provoke him again. Then the third time we went, so we were kind of understanding, which we believe is he was going from the bottom floor up to the top. And when he was away, his partner and his kids, you would then get a female and children coming through to you. Well, that's EVP, the necro, and whatnot. And then it would go silent. And then you knew that's when he was back, and you would see maybe the wee ball lighting up here and there. But we went up the stairs because we knew that he was going up and down the stairs. So we went up the stairs, we were shouting on him. Next minute, my eyes are starting to water, right? Because, and that's when you know it's. If Lindsay's still watching this, she'll be like, oh, not again. We were sitting up the stairs and we were shouting on Edward, we know you like getting up and down the stairs. Come up the stairs, footsteps, up the stairs, it was the ball lit up the footsteps, and then our M went. But legit, Edward 100% came up the stairs and we heard them. And I don't know if that's maybe him building, he's managing to build enough energy that we can hear him, because he understands who we are. He's seen us before umpteen times. He knows that he might be able to get so much energy off me, so much off David, so much off this equipment. That equipment, oh, hold on, if I go and get this equipment, I can get enough energy. They're going to hear me coming up these stairs. And we did. He legit, and it was like a running pace. In fact, David kept it on EVP as well, I think, Matt.
One of my recorders was sitting on the fireplace and hit caught it.
But it was me, you, Stephen and Jan.
Yeah.
And we were sitting in the centre of the room up the stairs, and then we heard the footsteps and we all looked at each other. The bod went, footsteps. And we generally thought there was somebody coming up the stairs, but there was nobody there.
Yeah.
You see, you can't debunk that. It's just, I mean, a lot of people will laugh at it and say, you know, we come up with different theories and they might think, don't talk so stupid. But at the end of the day, see when you I mean, no offence to everybody who's into all the scientific side, the paranormal and everything, you know, that's your thing. But at the end of the day, see when you strip all the scientific stuff away, it might just be plain and simple.
That's what I was saying there. Like, also we're chatting about if the spirits understand us. Like, I believe with the farm, we're kind of understanding Edward as well. So he's understanding us, but we're understanding him because we know that he likes to go up between the 2 floors. And then when he's away, if we're on the bottom floor and he's at the top, that's when you'll get his partner and the kids coming through, vice versa. If he's at the bottom and we're at the top, you'll start getting kids and stuff coming through. So we're kind of understanding him as well. In the same sense, we kind of know his route.
I mean, Loudon Kirk is a prime example for us and all. Probably for yourself. And Kat and Will, they were over here on holiday 3 months ago, and we done Loudon Kirk with them, and we got quite a bit of activity that night. But every time we went to Loudon Kirk, we've always picked up with a little girl, with a male figure in the kind of middle bit, you know. And at the back, we've always picked up on a kind of dominant male. But we've never been able to work out who they are.
Yeah.
You know, why they're there. And then, you know, obviously we've investigated with ourselves, and that's when we got the names Lisa and Ian. And we're trying, you know, I think we got it that Ian was Lisa's father. And then at the back, we found out that the male is actually one of the gentlemen that's buried in that family plot.
Yeah.
Right.
We get the woman's name as well. So I started to think, well, have we reached that point? Is that us built that trust now? You know, have we reached that point now that, you know, at the same time? Hi, Cam Doe, hope you're doing okay. You know, have we been times that they've got to know us all, but say, right, we can trust them now, so we're going to start talking.
But I find though it's locations that you go back to, like prime example, that one we done last year. Spirits will only give you so much, and then they stop. Everything stops, because look at like the last time we went, we were like getting hunters and bits like wee dribs and drabs every week. We were getting like a new name or a new bit of info with the pat, like something that happened, like the fire, for instance, stuff like that. And in the last kind of time that we went, we were getting hardly anything.
That's right.
So it was as if the spirits had told us enough, or told us all that they wanted us to know at that specific point in time.
Yeah.
Aye,
I think they can get fed up. Like everybody else, like humans, they must get fed up with it.
So there could be teams in before week one. You know what I mean? Right before that day. There could be so many teams in during the day it's been investigating, and then we're getting in at night and they're like, no, I'm not communicating tonight. You know what I mean? I'm not guinea pig.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, is it just plain and simple? You know, it's no this big scientific mystery and stuff. It's just plain and simple, everyday stuff. Like, you know, I can't be out all the night, so I'm not going to. I'll tell you enough.
I think, sorry, David, I think that's how the location we're going to Saturday, that we do get really good activity and very intelligent responses as well, because we're the only ones that do it.
There's nobody else, is it?
There's been nobody else that's ever done it. That we know of. But we're the only ones that do it, and I think that's how you all get intelligent. So again, they'll understand why we're there. If there was sort of another team getting in, it might confuse them. You know what I mean? Or they might take me to the other team or a certain person to the other team rather than what they do with us. And then I'm not communicating with you because I prefer. But we're the only ones that do it.
Definitely. Energy levels and all.
And we all tried simple things, Scott, as you were saying, like take away all the gadgets and this and that. It could be the simplest method that you could get the most proven communication. And we've tried simple things, just simple.
Yeah.
There's an experiment we've been trying. We never tried it there. But it's like also we did the Spirit's Eye. But this time it's with the DVP. So we'll get people in the live, give us a number, a shape, whatever, and we'll write it on the whiteboard. And then it'll be time to run the EVP. We'll say, right, now's your time to come forward and speak. Can you tell me what number you can see on this board that I'm holding? If you can see this board and this number, come forward and tell us, and then we'll let it run. And we've done that at the other part. We get 64. They get through it, and that was the number that was on the whiteboard. And you can't. EVP is probably, to me, is probably the best bit of equipment you can get because it's there in black and white. And I get people that's not maybe been there or that's fully skeptical, do not believe in anything, and you let them hear that. They automatically say that was you, or that was somebody in the team, or that was somebody else. But just to be there and witness it just blows my mind. And the fact that we get 64, you're like,
there's no fear, as you say, people will try and, you know, doubt it and all the rest of it, and that's the thing with tech. It can be manipulated, but if you just get a basic, simple experiment that can't be manipulated in any way because you're not using any fancy gadgets or anything. You know, I'm not blowing the rain trumpet, but I mean, that what we did at Kilwinning Abbey with Laura with the hearing aid and the white smoke. That was it. There was no cake, there was no fancy gadgets. It was just Laura standing in one corner, us in another, and all I said was, "Can you tell me what I put in this book?" And we didn't get hit every time. I think we get 4.
6 or
Four we
something.
got. But they were all, every answer was correct.
Well, it shows you it does work.
There's spirits that probably prefer that rather than getting into allocation with all these lights and gadgets and this and that and all that sort of stuff. They might just prefer just simply let them. It's so they're not feeling like a puppet. You know what I mean? I'll touch this light, touch this, and touch that. They might just want to communicate as they did when they were living. A chit chat, a general, just a chit chat.
They just want a bit of company, or they just want people to acknowledge that they're there.
It's like somebody
Yeah.
coming in your house and going, I brought this box in, I brought this light in, right? I want you to go and touch that. No, I want you to go and touch that box. No, I want you to go and speak into that. You're going to be like, no, you're in my no, I'm not doing it. Same scenario. Like, they might just want to be human. You know what I mean? Spoke to like human. Just the way they were when they were living. And a lot of these people are getting in. We do it as well. We run a lot of gadgets, but there's teams that get X amount of stuff and they go in and go spread about maybe in a wee tiny room, and that definitely does not help investigating. Definitely does not help communication.
There's a
It
guy.
confuses them. You know what I mean? There's too much stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a guy. I've told us a couple of times. There's a guy that we used to know. Shall we say? We used to know. Aye, better that way. Politer. For Edinburgh, and I watched him one night, and he's just a clown, basically. You know. And if he watches us, fair enough, he'll come back and, you know, get back at me if you want. But this guy went to Greyfriars, and you think he was going to invade Iraq or something, rather than going about his amount of kit that he had, you know. And it took him, he went into one of the wee tombs up near the Mackenzie tomb, and I don't know how long it took him to set up, but I was like, the spirits were getting bored, they were just going to bugger off. You know? But he had every gadget under the sun all set up, and he got deadly squat. He get nothing.
No, he was scratched.
Aye, they don't even start with that one. He get absolutely nothing. It was so funny.
Do you want me to tell them?
You tell him, because it just it annoys me. But Sarah will tell you.
On camera, right? He'd set up and all that, right? And then he'd been off camera, and then you could hear him saying, "Oh fuck, oh fuck," and then he came back on, and on his arm there was 3 scratches, right? That a spirit was meant to have done. But see if like you ever scratch yourself on a stone, you can see the white where it's like cut your skin.
Yeah.
All 3 lights had that on it. And obviously, you know yourself, a spirit. If a spirit scratches you, you don't have the white bit.
Red.
Off a stone, it's just pure red.
It's like if you scratch yourself, it's red on it. Unless you're going to use something else,
But these were like 3 lines, almost perfect lines, with the white kind of powdery, like.
The wee flecks of skin that you
Aye.
get when you go that, you fleck of it. Before he went over, he kept emphasising that he hadn't been scratched yet.
Aye, that's right.
About the Mackenzie tomb, and because you know Mackenzie poltergeist is supposed to be famous for scratching people. But
Aye, for a good 15 minutes, that's all you got home. Oh, I haven't.
It's, I've always said since we had the team, and I've said to you and all, so many times and all, it's people like that and teams like that make it so hard for genuine people and genuine teams. It's so hard, all this propaganda and money and fame and whatnot. Just go out and do what you're doing. If you don't get communication, you don't get communication. It's not to say that you're not going to try again and go to the location again, maybe at a different time, maybe go during the day. Don't get in, you don't get in. That's a whole that's a of it as well. It's just the excitement of even going to these places, maybe for the first time, checking it out, you know, and but people just ruin it, and it's everybody wants to go in the paranormal wagon now, and it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's the same with there's no right or wrong way to investigate. Like, yous investigate totally different for us.
Yeah.
We're not going to use and vice versa.
No?
Yeah, definitely.
this guy, we're talking about, we actually met him at Greyfriars one. The first we were at Greyfriars, and he was outside doing a wee podcast kind of thing, and
That was a few in the moment.
I was about 3 a.m, and you know, the rest of the folk, the ways were saying hello to him, but I stayed back because there was something there's something not right about him. You get that kind of feeling. You just,
Aye.
I'd say hello and that, like, hello, and that was it, but I thought there's just something not right about you, mate.
What gets me as well is like a lot of places you go to, it's you're parking your car and you're walking X amount of mile or whatnot. You're maybe having to climb the odd fence, and you're going to, it could be belting in the rain. You're trying to make sure your equipment's dry and stuff like that. What gets me is these people that do all that knowing that they're going to fake it just to get views, just to get stars, just to get more members joining their team or their group or whatnot. That to me, that's strange. People say I'm strange because I do what I'm doing, but to me, I couldn't be bothered or that
No,
hour drive to go and fake it.
it seems like far too much energy.
Well, we actually called him out. We done a live. It was way back in the early days before we, get better. And because
Aye, there wasn't just that. You done the live about. There was a few things.
there was a few things, but one of them, he was mailing Sarah. He was there. He was on a podcast. He was a guest on an American podcast, and he was mailing Sarah.
It's
back to
6:59 in the
Sorry,
morning.
I was going to say the back is 6:59 in the morning. Aye. Sorry,
Be precise.
I don't know how many seconds it was, but it was 6:59. How are you? I noticed you've been down. How's you in Scott and all the rest of it?
No, how's your relationship?
How's your relationship? Stuff like that.
What, Xavier?
Where he was on this podcast. But what he didn't know is Sarah gave me the phone. So he was actually mailing me and no Sarah.
Because back then I didn't work or anything, so obviously Scott was up with for the school run and stuff, and I checked my phone and I was like, just deal with this, and I went back to sleep. And it wasn't until I woke up
We started chatting me up.
about 3 hours later, Scott was like, look at this clown, and I'm like, what?
Just scroll through and she got sent a picture with a wig on.
But
That's a scary thing.
he did an investigation, called it the Doctor's Woods, and he made up this big elaborate story that a doctor had committed suicide in these woods. And he was running late to the investigation because he'd helped in a car accident, in Edinburgh.
That happens 3
This
days
was
before
at 1
it.
in the morning. There's a major car accident in Edinburgh. I'm late because I was helping save lives. Basically, this is what this clown was claiming. And he went out of these woods, says that a doctor had hung himself, and there was satanic rituals were known to happen in these woods. And lo and behold, he got chased by Satan worshippers. He just started running. He was in the woods, black, and he had this big flashlight, and you could hear him saying, I can hear them, they're looking for me, so I'm going to stay still. But he's kept his flashlight on. When somebody's hunting you in the dark, you don't still have a big spotlight on. You talk about
It was officially frightening.
and then the video cut, and it came back, and he's like, right, I'm fine, I'm okay. They never caught me. I got out the woods safe. But people are in the, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to you. Oh, are you okay? And stuff like that.
See, Scott, that's what annoys me. It annoys me the people that are so gullible that believe all this.
So we decided to do some digging. And I contacted newspapers in Edinburgh. I contacted the police as well, Lothian Borders Police. There had been an accident that day, on that date. No, it was in the afternoon. But it was the middle of the afternoon.
No, wasn't it? It was 3 days before it.
Was it 3 days before it? Whatever, there was an accident, but it was 3 days before it, Sarah says. I thought it was the same day.
No, it was 3 days before.
There had never been any suicides in that wood. There was no record anywhere. I contacted City Dead Tours as well. There was no record of any suicides in that wood whatsoever. There's no reports whatsoever of any devil worship and all. But this guy went to these extremes to make up this big elaborate story, which could all easily be checked out. So we done a live on him.
I thought we were the same person that was hunting Bigfoot in Edinburgh. Come on.
Then he went hunting Bigfoot in a public park in Edinburgh.
With a picnic basket.
Yeah.
He's obviously not writing it up.
As David said, it's the people that believe this as well, and you're like, how?
He was, I mean, you know, people, there is Bigfoot groups, and I'm not dissing them at all. There's some people that are in them. And I believe there is some kind of getty Bigfoot.
No, I'm not meaning by Bigfoot. I mean, like, as David was saying, like, going all that way out into a forest to make a story up to see he's getting chased, and then, as you were saying, people are commenting saying, "Oh, I can't believe that," and I hope you're all right. You know what I mean? Like, it's these people. Like, there's teams I've seen. I don't watch them, but I know there's teams. I've been on Nicks and Knacks, and it's just pure absolute dog shit. And excuse the language again. And these people are like, "Oh my god, oh no, there's something behind you. I can see it. No way, oh no, you've just been scratched." And I'm like, "Oh, come on, man." Every location these teams go to, they're highly haunted and demonic entities, and folk are levitating and all this carry on. See what that, man. That's why they get so much views for entertainment purposes. We don't get a lot of views. That's because we're genuine. If you look at a genuine team, they don't get much views. If you look, I don't mean it like that, because there's genuine teams out there that they get a lot of views. But there's times we went live and not had many people watching because there's nothing happening. But we'll keep trying. These teams that are doing it for entertainment and the stars and the money, there's always activity. There's always activity.
Right. But no, that's exactly. See, we do this. We don't get hundreds of views and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's no, but we do it because we love going investigating. We love looking at history. We love looking at paranormal. We love coming on here and just talk to people, whether we get 1 view or 1,001 views. And we love doing it. And as you see, there's people that will make stuff up just to get views. I mean, there's another. We watched a woman one night who claimed to be the reincarnation of Maid Marian. And she says that the spirits bow down to her when she goes into Sherwood Forest. Now,
And she has sexual relationships with the spirits
and Sherwood Forest.
and Sherwood Forest.
Now, it's always not, maybe it's me, but it's always been my understanding that the reincarnation idea is the person would have to have existed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Maid Marian never, she was made up.
Fiction.
You know, Robin Hood was based on a real kind of, person. But Maid Marian was kind of added into the legend to kind of spice it up, whatever you want to call it. But she claimed to be, and I was saying, how can you be the reincarnation of someone who has never existed? That's what me saying, I'm the reincarnation of Winnie the Pooh. Hey, there is a resemblance thing.
I was going to do Stewie, a Family Guy.
Aye.
That's what we saying, I'm the reincarnation of Buck. A Homer Simpson.
So it's a real shame and all, because a lot of these teams, it's
No, the wee guy out of Little Britain.
Oh, right.
It didn't actually matter. It's just as a case of
No, Donald.
a lot of these teams now that's chasing the stars and the fame. It's a shame and all, because they would have genuinely started. Majority of them would have started genuinely just for the passion and to go to investigate and just getting that. Oh, look at stars and this and that. They went down that road, and it's just they just keep going, and it is a shame. It's a shame.
I just get called Donald to Benidorm.
But the hairdresser.
No, that's Kenneth.
The big Scottish passed away, no sadly enough.
Aye.
Guy, the Swingers.
Oh, aye, I know, aye, him.
Aye,
Him with the wee dirty wife.
That is so bad.
you put me.
But now that you say the
Right. Right, the wee guy with the wee dirty wife.
Aye.
This is mainly be about, paranormal spirits, no Benidorm.
Well, we've lasted 59 minutes.
I mean, these people would make stuff up, and it's getting to the ridiculous stage, I mean, this guy, this woman I was talking about, Maid Marian, and there's another guy who claimed that they are possessed by aliens. And there's certain lives I've watched it, and you know they go that funny way and all this
I do all this.
because the aliens came and took their spirits up to their spaceships and done stuff to them.
They sit there like that.
Aye, they sit. The other movements that the aliens have took them up. And NASA, the Russians, China, they've spent billions over the last don't know how many decades looking for proof of intelligent alien life. They didn't need to. All they had to do was go down to Harrogate.
Aye.
Harrogate, who's been in their space. Do you know what I mean? And
Must have some good spice.
yeah, exactly. I think it's Harrogate. It's run to London here. No, it's no Harrogate, so it's Society of London. All you have to do is go to London. That's where they are.
With the fairy moths.
You know, and fairy moths and all, see this moth on her channel one night saying it was a fairy, then it was an orb, then it changes into a spirit, and then it would change back to a fairy again. She changes about 4 or 5 times in 1 week, the description. We were thinking, you know, make up your mind. What is it? Is it a moth? Is it an orb? Is it a spirit? Come on, you know, let's be honest here. But as it's at the ridiculous stage.
It's getting beyond a joke, man. It's because there's hundreds and thousands of genuine people out there that do what we do. You know, make friends, and it's not the case of partner want to go on a location or always paid location. Not you do, and even away from the paranormal, investigating side of things, you're still working like with editing and ideas and pictures and running through your footage and all that sort of stuff. A lot of these teams don't post anything on their page until they're investigating. They'll go and investigate, get their stars, and then you don't hear anything from them again until the next time they're investigating, so then get their stars and make money and all this carry on. If you're not going to, as we said on the podcast, Scott, at some point, if you're planning to have a team or come together as a team, you fund it yourself. If there's a location that you can't go to, you wait till the following year. If you want to go at the end of this year, but we can't, money's a bit tight, fine, we can go next year. But there's no rush. You know what I mean? Fund it yourself. It's better that way, because then as you grow as a team, you know that you've achieved what you're achieving yourself. You know what I mean? And a lot of these teams forget that, and it's just money, money, money. Don't get into them until they're investigating for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Done investigating, and then 2 weeks down the line, oh, we're out again. Investigating, give me your money, and these people fall for it, and it's I don't know who does.
If you've got a page, then you know we try and keep our page going. You know, it's no anything spectacular. We're not trying to be spectacular, but folk that take the time to follow you or join your group, well, they want to see something. You know, there are people out there who are just basically addicted to joining groups. I mean, we've had some people who are in, 1,500 stuff like that, and you think, seriously. But people come along and they join your group. They want to see you go out doing stuff. They want to see you posting stuff, whether it's stories, pictures, doing podcasts, investigations, whatever. I do when I'm with myself. I do the odd wee live. And it's content on the page, and it's when these people see that, right, we don't just go out one fortnight, investigate, and then get home, and then go 2 weeks later. We are actually a working team. It's like 7 days a week. I think it sounds like a job, but it's not a job. It's a hobby. But you're letting these people know this is our hobby, this is what we enjoy, that we're passionate about, and this is what we do every day. And as you see, there is a lot goes on behind the scenes. It's like anything, TV, whatever. There's a lot goes on that people don't know about. I mean, editing and what we Sarah can tell you, I don't know about editing now. Go on the editing. Sarah can tell you about editing and what have you. But even just talking to folk and arranging podcasts and setting up investigations and trying to think, which story can we do next, because you're not wanting to just cover the one subject. You're trying to, give folk a variety of things to look at, to read, whatever.
Your phone never goes for like 7 in the morning right up to 2 or 3 in the morning. It's constant.
My phone's always on the go. And
it's because you're genuine as well, like, and you're posting up in the group as well, like, even like maybe collaborating with new teams. it took us a while to go out and collaborate, because we're kind of getting to know each other. We've done a couple of FaceTimes, because you don't want to just collaborate with somebody you don't know, because you don't know what they're like. You know, they could be fucking stick a fucking Michael Myers mask on or something. Remember all the hoops? You don't know that, but even that, you put work into chatting to the person or the team you're going to collaborate with, figure out a location, figure out a time, make sure it's a safe location, it's going to suit everybody, check the weather. It's a big, obviously, being in Scotland, because you don't know what the weather's going to be like. All that sort of stuff. But it's just a pain. Put so much into it, and these people put absolutely nothing in it. And they're making all this money and this and that. And we'll never go down that road. If I was to ever go down that road, I would stop doing what I'm doing. I would deal with the paranormal.
I've said, but you two things. You organise investigations with another team. You want a team to turn up, and you might be able to trust them. And not have planners. Do you know what I mean?
It's not to say that all teams are going to go on. Like, you might get a team and you're like, nah, I'm not really Chris. That's what happens. It's not to say that you're not going to speak to them again. It's just, that's what happens. You can't expect to get with every team and, oh, she's brilliant, this is brilliant. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Back to the spirits. It's how the spirits could work as well. We might go with a team and we're like, not too keen on them. Spirits could think like that as well. I'm not too keen on that team, so no, I'm not going to entertain them.
As you say, the success thing and all the rest of it. I've said in a few lives that, say Sky TV could chat with Do tomorrow and say, right, we want you to do a 10-episode series, but I would tell them no. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of folk might not believe it, but I would honestly, I swear my grandmother, I would tell them no, because then that takes the personal side out of it.
It gives you a taste for it as well.
If Helen Mirren chat to Do tomorrow says, come on and do an investigation with me, then aye. Helen Mirren is my celeb crush. All right, hands up.
Well, I'll tell you one better than that. I was obviously working yesterday, and I've got a man crush on Pal Nutini, right, Lindsay, if you're still on this, she's going to go, right, but I know where his mother stays, so I was doing the bins and lo and behold, she came out, so it's the first time I met her, and I was speaking to her, so she must have thought I was a creep. I know I'm a bit of a creep. I was like, your boy's album, brilliant and stuff like that, and then I'm sitting thinking, if I see her next time, I'm going to make sure Paolo's there, and I'm going to say, Paolo, my man, how's it going? You want to come out on a ghost hunt one night? Get a big Pal Nutini out one night?
Yeah. No, we just got Chloe talking rubbish, you pair of knobs.
Aye, that's
Lovely.
The comment is saying, what language is this?
All right, okay. Well, he's gone anyway, whoever that idiot was.
Aye, I've seen that now.
I can't see any comments. How about it?
No, somebody himself talking rubbish, you pair of knobs, and they put up the comment, what language is this?
It's Bye-bye language.
You wonder why, do you know what I mean? I think that was on YouTube, wasn't it?
Aye. But clearly we knew what language it was, because they typed the comment in the language that we're talking.
Aye.
Yeah, you're going to get people that left, right and centre. It's, I don't let things like that get to me.
I don't understand why people waste their precious energy and time.
Because you get folk like that just troll. That's why we don't really put our lives on YouTube as much.
I like a good troll. I do. I like a good wee couple of trolls floating about.
You must be doing something right. Because it's annoying people.
Yeah.
Aye, that's it, so, I mean, whoever it was, they obviously can't watch this anyway, but thanks very much for being a...
No, they can watch us, they just can't comment.
Oh, they can't. Thanks for
So,
Hi!
to whoever it was that put that comment, and we're speaking Scottish, and there's a very famous Scottish comedian, and whenever he encounters an idiot, he goes, so that's it with you, buddy.
Yeah.
Scottish.
I did that.
Yeah.
Did that
This is quite what the turkey chin.
It doesn't work with turkey chin, does it? But you know how people don't just live and let live. They don't agree with what you're talking about or what you do, then go and fight for them. Basically,
You're going to get them everywhere. As I said, I quite enjoy it sometimes. I don't get involved really with any other teams or that, like, or anything like that, but there is people that are there, but I just concentrate on what we're doing and what we've got planned.
It's obviously it's annoying them. Do you know what I mean?
But we're hitting
If
the-
they're spamming us, they'll lean somebody else a lane.
Oh, well,
Aye, there was somebody who's the best of luck to them, do what they want.
Oh, there's a fatty. Look
It's no good. But let's check what we're talking about.
at the size of him.
So this Saturday is all good.
I said,
Aye,
You
aye,
alright?
we're all set for this Saturday.
Good.
As these two stop.
I'm sorry, I thought she said, what are we talking about? And I swear to God, I heard Space Camp.
No,
Well,
I said
we're talking
look at the
about
size of him
space.
talking about the catfish because he's huge.
We got a fish tank right next to us. Right there.
Bloody Dr. Doolittle on your house, man, innit?
We've got six
Guinea
fish,
pigs, cats, fish.
we've got 6 fish, 2 guinea pigs, 3 cats,
Jack.
dragon, a leopard gecko.
I think that's about it.
That's
And that's all it's going to, that's all it's going to be. That's all it's going to be. Aye, this Saturday, we're all good for this Saturday.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
That's no a problem. I know exactly where the place is. I know.
But
Yeah.
no, it'll be good.
Anyway, I
You've
just kind of said we were doing it.
I was actually where I said it because somebody said it first, but that was.
You might
I-
I'll ask the boss. Sarah,
Yes.
he's good Saturday.
Yes, we are. Looking forward to it.
What was that? Oh, that was one with Barry.
We
wasn't
will think your own podcast.
it? I was one with Barry when you were discussing. Aye, we
Stephen isn't making it. I'm sure he says he'll not be able to make it. I think Jan might be after she finishes.
Alright.
I think she might be arriving around about the same time as yours.
That's
We-
fine.
You can watch it for them.
we'll be there about 8:30, 8:45.
That's
Yeah, but-
fine.
So,
Um,
I'm on double
so I know exactly where it is. So it's an easy enough drive up to it.
That'll be good. Be good, man. Definitely.
I think we'll wind it up there before we keep talking any more rubbish because we're
Yeah.
knobs,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
We'll hang on to you anyway. 'cause
Yeah.
you're knobs.
Yeah. Pair of knobs.
A new saying
that'll be a
catchphrase.
new saying, you're a pair of knobs. I'm sorry.
Well, whoever it is that said it, I wonder what else they've got to say when obviously they see what we've got in plan and stuff like that. So,
You're
I
what
know.
planned?
you know what I mean?
What?
Should we tell them what we get planned?
What?
Yeah, we should tell them what we get planned.
No.
Oh yeah, but I'd imagine we'll probably get told. We'll probably call us. I'd imagine because obviously it's some jealous person, but
Oh.
you're going to get that. Yeah, it's a vicious, could be vicious, a paranormal.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kathy, though. I meant no offence, your accent is very strong. Jordan, were you the one that put up
Yes.
talking rubbish?
Yes, I think.
Yes. I recognise the photo.
Right. Do you know him?
No.
Right, okay, buddy, no problem. As you can understand, we do get trolls every now and again, and
Especially called a knob.
I would call them up now. Jordan, say we do get trolls every now and again. We've had troll issues in the past, same as Spikes had troll issues.
We've got one now,
Aye.
but we'll get down to the route. I've got faith in our mod Nicola. I'm sure she'll get down to the route and get them away.
I will actually, before we do go, I'll set his comments up. Yes, that was my other name. No offence intended. No problem, my friend. Thanks for clearing up for us. Yes, because they're Scottish.
Well,
Right. Thanks for that, Kathy Doll. Aye, so we did a podcast a couple of weeks ago. Andy and
was it
Charlie.
last week?
Was it last Sunday?
I think so.
You're always correct. Likes. How can you not just aye?
Because
Not.
that's because somebody's got to correct you.
Is that a thumbs up, or is Kathy just gave us the?
No, it's a thumbs up.
That's a thumbs up. I thought it was something else there. Sorry, Kathy.
Although, actually, no, it's a thumbs up.
That's a thumbs up. So I thought it was something else there. Sorry, dog. Just from where I'm sitting, I can just tiny wee hand. So last Sunday, we did a podcast with Andy, Charlie. Night Hatchet, thanks for coming in, bud. No, I wouldn't do that. I know you wouldn't, Kathy. You're a good soul. You're a good soul. So we did a podcast. Andy, Charlie, Kirsty. No, Kirsty wasn't there.
No, I was there.
Sarah, Rox and myself, and John for Nighthawk Paranormal. And it was all about the bullying, trolling, copying, all that crap that's in the paranormal. I think it was meant to be on, but unfortunately he was unwell and unable to join us. So he's able to join us now. So just I know you have experienced this in the past. I was telling the story about the text, the mail that gets sent. I don't know if you want to say anything about it, Rigger, because obviously you were involved in it as well.
I'll not say any names, so I'll get a wee bit out and then that clears it up. I obviously received our moderator. She got a nasty message sent to her. No against her, against herself and me, Scott, a certain person and another team that I know very well. David knows very well. And it said some nasty stuff. Lowest of the low sort of stuff that could destroy a man's life. Put it that way. So she messaged me and I said, look, I'm going to have to message Scott because he's got the right to know. I messaged you, notified you about it. Obviously shocked. I was shocked as well because they insinuated, they went out their way to get through hundreds of messages, hundreds of thousands of messages to highlight the word. I don't want to say the word because it's a nasty word. Whoever's watching it hopefully understand what the word is. Highlighted it, saying that in Nicola and the mod and whatnot, and it caused a whole load of hassle. I worked with this person. I nearly lost my job. Me and my partner were arguing over it. The moderator, she could have been social work. She could have been working the police force. Could have took this a lot serious. You know what I mean? You could have ended up with a chap at the door. I could end up with a chap at the door. And it's all because of jealousy and spitefulness. And it can destroy a person's life. And still to this day, it can mentally put them into a dark place with the things that was said. And the effort that he went through to cause that, the whole spiel, you've seen it yourself, 300-400 words. All that effort to message somebody that I think he's met once, to say that I was one, you were one, but he had nothing against you. But that's what you were. But to stay away from Spig because we're nothing but trouble, don't trust us and stuff like that. He's now in another team, which tells me it's a jealousy thing. They don't want us collaborating, and it's absolutely childish. But it caused so much stress between me and Lindsay. So much stress. And my work, I had to take time off work. I couldn't go to work. Anything like that. Imagine you were stressed. We were communicating with each other really a couple of days to say each other word and stuff like that. But it could have it could have got really, really nasty with silly games. And this is grown people. You know what I mean? This is adults. Why go down that road? I'm all one for somebody saying this and saying that and making up stupid stories, but to go that low, that absolute low, especially when you've only been in the field 6 months. If that.
And then Rigger, he says, I didn't mean to send it.
Aye, didn't mean to send it. You get me through all it to highlight the word. Send it to a moderator She could have took it completely serious. I had to phone her and say, look, if you want to walk away, walk away. I totally understand. But thankfully enough, she understands. She understands why it was sent, you know, which is a good thing because she could have took it the wrong way altogether, and things could have got really, really bad. And the thing is, still to this day, I don't know who else this message has been sent to, just for nastiness. Me and David were at meet, and we were getting prank phone calls and whatnot when it was just me and David, and we knew it was coming for them. I've got my best mate's father had phoned me one night, asking if I'd phoned the police on a location that he was at and stuff like that, and I says no. I was told that it was somebody that was in the team had contacted him, as well as he speak to another 2 people from the team. And I know who the other 2 people are. But you get rid of people. Things don't work out. It's maybe better for them to go their separate ways, or it's just not working out. They've not got the time or whatever. Maybe things beyond the paranormal, I get that. Never nasty to anybody that I've had in the team. Still speaks to some of them as well. Never nasty, reasonable with them, helped them out. And then as soon as you do that, it just shows how quick jealousy, spitefulness, nastiness, how quick it can turn like that. When you think you can actually trust somebody, and it just turns that for the sake of what, to try and destroy somebody's life.
I know.
It's definitely, as I said, on that live we've done, you know, we can all, you know, disagree with other teams and all the rest of it for one reason or another, but when you cross, you know, when you start personal like that, you cross a line there. It's never ever be crossed, not just in the paranormal, in any walk of life. You know, it doesn't matter what you're, because, I mean, in that mail that he sent, you know, he basically says that I was a, you know, but he didn't have an issue, he didn't have a problem with me. Even that, you know, that guy's but I'm okay with him.
And the other thing as well, what he said was, he messaged the mod because he wanted to protect us from yourselves, but he's nothing against you. But you're one of them, and he insinuated I was one, but he wanted to protect us. He's nothing to do with us anymore. He had his chance. It just happened to be that he's went his separate way. I get that. I went down and I spoke to him before all the carry on, just face to face. I'd rather speak face to face and just, you can kind of get your emotions out. Said what I had to say, he said what he had to say, and that was it. But then it went down that kind of getting brainwashed, and then say this, be the guinea pig, and all this carry on, to absolutely take out there and destroy people's lives, especially when they get kids.
Well,
and that is the lowest of the low. It's just, as I said, who else has he said this to? You know what I mean? Things like that. What other things has been said?
I said on that live that he brought Sarah's and I's relationship into it, and I clapped my hands up and I says, everybody who knows us knows that there's a big age gap between Sarah and I, you know, and the paranormal, family, friends, whoever.
What's it got to do with it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, we've never had it. We've got a beautiful 6-year-old daughter, you know. We've never went behind closed doors or nothing.
But that's the thing as well, Scott, as David said, it's absolutely nothing to do with anybody, but for him to go, and I'm not saying he's the only one in it, I'm not saying he's the only one that's went ahead and done it. I could be right, could have just been up to him, or I don't know. He's the one that sent it. And
somebody's made the bullets and he fired them.
Yep. He sent it to a woman that he's met once, and as you were saying, a 6-year-old daughter and all that. That could have destroyed all that. You know what I mean? That's how serious it is. And for people to get branded that or whatnot, and they've got kids and that can put them in a downward spiral. You can do some stupid stuff. You know what I mean? And it's a dangerous, dangerous game, and it's all over paranormal. You know what I mean? And as you said, take your paranormal wife out, you still don't say that about your worst enemy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then he made a fake profile up about me, which I explained on the live, the Scott Math there, soon ER. So when, and I tried to explain how they caught him out. And obviously, Riggy, you were kind of party to that, him getting caught out.
It's mental. Like, just if things aren't working out, move on. And anybody that's been in the team, I've always said to them, I'm not going to fight with you. You want to speak to me, phone me, message me, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's just it's not working out. It's not to say we're going to lose friendship, but then these people leaving and they spout so much shit that's not even real, just to try and destroy and bring down what you've been working on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I think David's probably the longest one that's been in the team. You know what I mean? And David came in when we had a full team, and the rest had just went. Excuses they couldn't come out, turn out their way with other teams, this and that, and this and that, and this and that. And you're like, right, it's not going to work out. So, but it's just silly how things like that can just change something. You know what I mean? I've known this guy for coming up 7 years. You know what I mean? He's been in my house and everything. I've known him coming up 7 years. Not the case. I've known him 6 months, or 7 months. I've known him for 7 years. Every day, basically every day. I used to see him more than I see my mains because I'm obviously my shift pattern. You know what I mean? So he's been in my house, he's been running the veins and all that sort of stuff. But then things to change for whatever reason, they go ahead and say things like that about yourself, a guy that you've never met. I'm not greeting here, by the way, my voice is thinking. A guy that he's never met. You know what I mean? Like yourself. To go ahead and message a woman he's met once, to then badmouth and brand a guy that he's never met in his life. And then insinuate that somebody's one that he's known for 7 years. Mental. It's absolutely mental.
He uses all the paranormal, but so we'll wind up here. Sorry we got a wee bit serious here, folks, but anybody that watched the live with Charlie and I, etc. the other week, I did say on the live that Rigger was unwell, and the first chance we had, when we had them on, he would say his piece, because also been affected by it as well. So it's just right that the guy gets to sit up and say, right, this is what's happened. So that's how it went a wee bit serious. But you get the gist.
I want to say their name, but I'm not even keen on the satisfaction. Do you know that?
Yeah.
I want to say the name of the team. I want to say the name of the person that sent it, but I'm not even giving them that slightest bit of publicity. I'm not.
You put yourself in the same bucket as him.
You know what I mean? So
basically, so
it just shows how dangerous like the paranormal side can be. It just shows you. It shows you.
Folk look at paranormal, and as you said earlier, as we've said many times, same as you guys, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
We're not competition. We're not aiming for the Oscars or aiming for the stars.
I know. I want a star.
We do what?
I want a gold star.
Yeah.
For what?
Oh, right. Right.
You want a gold? Did you say you want a gold star?
Aye.
For what?
I know. But aiming for stars, I want a gold one.
I would thought. No,
I
man.
get money for that.
She's lost me. Aye, so we're not, it's a hobby. We do it because we love it. And if we get a great bit of evidence, a great capture, everybody's chuffed.
Yeah.
Sell it to the paper.
Okay. We give yourself a pat in the back, but we move on. We say, well done, that was a good wee photograph.
You're going to meet friends and that as well on your paranormal journey, but at the same time, there's going to be enemies as well. Maybe not down to your own fault, down to their fault, and it's just that's what comes with it. But it's absolutely mental, and that's what makes it even more worthwhile. The fact that you're still doing what you're doing, and doing this. These people are out there, they're trying to bring you down for whatever reason, and you're still doing what you're doing, and it'll just get on their nerves even more.
Put it this way, they tried to hijack a location, didn't they?
They did.
I love how David can write close to the camera to say that.
Yes, they did.
Well,
I think that was for effect.
Yeah,
That
and
was
it did.
is that the first collaboration you're talking about?
I no. We're one of the locations, future ones.
That's right.
this is
Yeah.
I am moving to say.
Do I know about this?
Don't know. Does it, Scott?
I don't know if I'm on the same page as you here, David.
No, you're on the same page. Mind, they were speaking. See where we're going in September. They tried
Right.
to.
Got you now.
They tried to get
I
us.
think I spoke to Scott.
Aye, you did. Aye, go you know. That's the thing, there's that much goes on, you lose track.
You can catch us up after this live's ended.
Eh?
You can catch us up after this live's ended.
Right,
It's like, what
Catch
was
that, I
that?
told you that they were going to go to, you go bubble.
You'll probably find, I'd imagine once we finish, I'm going to have a chat about what we talked about before we come on. But you'll find once we chat about that, get it organised, that you're going to get maybe the same people, maybe other people that's going to try and come in and put their bit in and, oh, this is shit, this is great, whatever. You know what I mean? You're going to get it. It's a jealousy thing. I don't understand why. Just let people do what they're doing.
We're out. Same thing.
It's mental. It's mental, man.
You say folk probably will have a, I mean, we're quite fortunate we've got all the great members in the group. We've never had any hassles or anything, you know, obviously unlike our old page where we get the trolls away, but you see, we're talking about Craig and going to talk about Esteros. I would probably will be people with comments and stuff, but let them comment, you know, we're not saying that what we're doing is going to be perfect, we're not saying it's going to work, but we're going to get a go. You know, and you know, that's the other thing with Paranoid, people copying. I mean, we don't have a problem, we come up with an experiment, you know, and if other teams want to try it, fair enough. You know, go ahead and try it. It's when they pass it off as a road. It's not that we're wanting the credit for it. You know? But it's when they can't come up with anything original or they can't come up with anything they do themselves and then, you know, maybe they'll see us going to Stirling. Right? Oh, we're going to go to Stirling. Right, we'll go to Stirling so that we'll go the weekend day. It's stupid stuff.
I will spend your dodging.
Aye, well, I've heard of that.
So it can definitely be a dangerous game. I remember when I first started spoke to a guy. It was just a while ago. I can't even remember what his name was. Quite well known in the Paranoid, not well known, but he knew what he was talking about. And he's like, "All right, son." I says, "I." He said, "You know what the very first thing he says to me was, just watch. There's so many jealousy and hatred out there."
Aye.
That's exactly what he said to me. There's so much jealousy, so much hatred, just so much bullshit that comes with it as well. And it's the fact that I don't really let it get to me. I always that part for the big thing that we just spoke about. That's thing you can't let slip. But
That's
the rest of it, all the petty stuff and playing games, all this carry on. And the thing is, these people could start with the wrong person and then end up bumping in the same location one night.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's things like that. It's simple as that. You know, you can go to a location. Oh, who's this? Oh, was it you? You know, make it get quite nasty. Your pettiness, your jealousy, you get better capture than me, so I'm going to try and shoot your team down, and I'm going to call you this and that.
It's childish. I mean, Sarah and I started Paranormal History. First, we started it just for something to do. Obviously, we were into the Paranormal History, but we didn't expect it to go. We thought we'd last a month or something, you know, because we never done podcasts and any of that stuff in our life. Ran a Facebook page. I didn't even know I got made Facebook page. Do you know what I mean? So that's how dumb I was. Well, still kind of under, but. So we didn't expect it to go very far, and we see surprised at the amount of, you know, spear thrown and all the rest of it. that was in the paranormal, and we had a fair share of comments and all the rest of it. But 2 years, we're over 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I think?
Down the line,
It's made it more. Like, to me, in my opinion, I know there's a lot of teams out there where there's like the founder or lead investigator and that, and they like to be sergeant major. You know what I mean?
oh,
Do this and do that. And do it. And I'm not. I've always say support team. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say go and do this and go and do that. You know what I mean? Like the way a lot of teams are. But when people are in the team, they leave. It's like they make me all the bad ones. It's like, oh, big bad rig and stuff like that. And I don't like the fact. I think they don't like the fact that Spig's still gone.
And they're no.
I've got a brand new team again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thing
And
is, got a good team now.
a good team. And I think the fact that it was just basically, because at first it was just myself, brought people in, wasn't working out, someone turning up, and all the usual stuff you get, I get that. And then it was just me. I started again, and then it was just me. Then I started again, we get David came in, the other one had left, it was me and David, got another team, get rid of him, it was me and David. So it's been a roller coaster ride, and my personal opinion, like, I've not been there. I know I don't want to sound like, oh, this and that, but I strongly believe I've not been the issue. I've no.
No?
Whatever people do within paranormal and this and that, it's entirely up to them. But if they're not going to fit something else, if you're not going to fit me a job or that, or it might not be for them. But I've never been nasty to them. I've never been nasty.
I think it came down to commitment and all.
Yeah.
But I'm always a bad one. And in fact, when the person we're talking about was sitting fucking bad mouthing David and all that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
David's done absolutely nothing right. I've done absolutely nothing right.
Mm.
And it's the fact now that we've got a new team again, so I know that he's going to be turning.
Aye.
But I really don't. I honestly couldn't care. I could not care.
it's no work there. As you say, commitment. It's commitment, and it can be, what I was saying earlier on, what it can be a lot of work and what have you. It can be in the next couple of months for us. That's why we're cutting down. I put up a post the other day that we're going to be cutting down our lives because we've got this Wallace field to work on.
Yeah.
That's going to be a load of work,
That's
the society ways if I get David Espinosa on board and also the amount of work that lies ahead of us, but you need to have the commitment to say, it's not we're no trying to gain anything out of this. I says to David, last week I was talking to David and I said we're not trying to be film stars or anything like that, and I says to Barry John and all, we're just wanting to try, and David, we love the history side of it as well. We're trying to just show another side to William Wallace.
The thing is, you're getting to do what you enjoy, and you're getting to share it out as well. That's what I like. I like doing what I enjoy doing. I always have, and go live or record as much, and let people see it. Let them kind of feel part of the investigation and all this carry on. I can't be bothered going out and making profile and all this carry on and try to cause shit. Man, get off of that. I'm a grown man. You know what I mean? I've got wins. Well, I just go and do what I'm doing. If we get something we don't, if we go and collaborate with a team, it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If we go and collaborate with a team, we make friends, we make friends. Come up with other ideas and this and that. That's what it comes to it.
If you don't like it, just stay away.
Different experiments and just, doing what you love. If you, sometimes folks' hobbies are riding a bike, sometimes they fall off the bike. But they get back on and keep going. You don't just get a bike on the bike because you laugh it, but you got a puncture. I know it's a bit of comparison, but it's the same kind of idea. You know what I mean? You were saying about titles and stuff and all, we don't. What? Am I boring you?
You don't shut a wee bit.
You've been saying for just 9 minutes you're ending this live. 1 hour and 1 minute you said you were going to end this live. It's now
one last thing.
39
People do
minutes.
yourself titles. Fair enough, it's their thing, say what they want to do, their team, their business. It's when they emphasise the title. We are no one particular person
CEO
is the CEO of this network, basically. So we say, but every time it goes, I'm the CEO. who are you talking to? You know, you minding yourself, or you just say the words CEO. You know, is that for effect? You know, I know
Millet C-U-N-T.
it's just the way you get my clothes. I mean, you're a team. Everybody calls me the gaffer. Fair enough, you know.
I don't.
Well, apart from Dishing. But I'm not the gaffer, you know. We're a team. I do the general kind of running of the team. Aye, but that's it. You just talking
You do the talk.
Sorry, bud.
You do the talking for the team.
I got a word.
Basically, aye.
A word.
But you know, every kind of idea that come up with, we throw it into the pot, and we see, you know, some of them suck, some of them don't. But that's how a team works, you know.
Try everything, Scott.
Aye,
Try anything.
an idea.
I'm sure there'll be other podcast members that we'll be chatting about, and I'm sure other things will happen. But do you know what? It makes you stronger as well. You know what I mean? It makes that bond stronger.
Well, aye, exactly. That's what when Sarah and I started this October last month. We get so many daggers thrown at us in the first 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And we thought we're not going to last, but over 2 years down the line, and we're still here. So it does make you stronger, and it makes you more determined to keep going.
Yep.
Definitely.
I mean, there is no iron team. Exactly, Don, no iron team. But I think we'll end it there, folks, as these two are really getting in my gears. You know what I mean?
It's hard for it.
But also, I'll keep a hold of you two guys who will come up. That's a new
Sure.
you know. Professional and stuff. Look at this.
Shocking.
It's with two chimpanzees on the couch with me. You know what I mean?
Coming for the turkey.
You know what I mean? What can I say? So, anyway, we're out Saturday night, folks. West Pig. Hey, guys. And I'll let Rigger tell you, then we'll disappear.
I just went out Saturday at a private location. Myself and David's been there a reasonable amount of time. There's definitely a dominant spirit there. This will be your first time going, so we're not going to say too much about it.
Yeah.
But we'll let you go and see what you think. But there will be activity live. We'll get it shared. Whatever, we'll make a night of it. But good location, big location.
Looking forward to a couple of basic things I want to try. But I'll talk to you later. So we'll wind up there. So we're out on Saturday night with Spike, and then we get Cat and Will Armstrong Paranormal Exposures coming in on Sunday night for a catch up. So thanks for joining us. I just want to say again to Patty, she was meant to be here, but best wishes to her and her brother. We hope everything works out okay. And we'll see you on Saturday night at some point. So
Goodbye.
thanks for joining. Bye. Bye.